Okay, continuing on with conics, and we've gone through each of the conics individually. The thing we're going to start doing now, it's called translating, and translating just means to move left and then right. And if you notice, these formulas below, each of these x's inside of parentheses have an h with them. Okay, maybe not with parentheses there, but there's that h. They're going to affect that left-right movement, just like we did with a parabola. It's been a while, but we did do x minus h squared for a parabola. That h value is the left-right movement. We're also going to move it up or down, and that up or down, of course, the y-axis is up or down, so we got a k value that goes with that y. Okay, now I know that is a lot of information down below it, but that h and k is going to be your new center or the vertex, depending on what you're looking at. We kind of did this already with a circle, I should say. Like x minus h squared, y minus k squared, and equals r squared. That h and k is the center of your circle. That's basically moving the center from the origin left to right or up and down. Okay. Yeah, so like I said, you'll get this formula sheet here. Don't worry so much about memorizing that. But hopefully you use it enough here when you practice that you kind of basically don't really know it, or need to know it off the top of your head. So here, let's start off with something, like I said, maybe familiar, and I'm going to start asking you to kind of identify these as well. But it has x squared and y squared. So this conic is a circle. The center is at 3, and careful, it's y minus k, so y minus a negative 1, so 3, negative 1. And the radius, oh yeah, that's probably the dead giveaway that the conic's a circle, because it's the only one, would be 5. So over 1, 2, 3, down 1, there's my center. And we'll go from there 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Or to the left 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm not a very good artist with these, but that's okay. You get the idea. There's my circle that's centered at 3, negative 1. And it's got a radius of 5. So essentially, we took the circle from the origin, moved it 3 to the right, that's our h value, and down 1, that's our k value. Okay, again, dead giveaway, but really the reason why it is a circle, and I say dead giveaway because it's talking about the radius. In this case, square root of 49, the radius is going to be 7. Okay, it's supposed to be x minus, so that's x minus 4. And that's going to be 2, so my center is now negative 4, 2, which means the circle moves over to the 4 left and up 2. And from there, I'm going to go over 7 in each direction, up and down, left and right. So just to count off my circle radius, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there's my center, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Each of these ordered pairs then that I'm putting down are points on the circle. So they're an x and a y that would satisfy that equation. So there we go. Let's keep on translating. This time we've got ourselves just y to the first power and x squared. So that means we're dealing with a parabola. Remember, x goes, or h goes with the x, so that's x minus a negative 2. Okay, so when you're putting this down in your vertex, it's going to be negative 2 comma something, and that something's going to be 5. Okay, again, this kind of helps you know that it's a parabola too. The focus and directrix is what I'm asking for. But remember, you got this 1 over 4p and 1 over 8. So p is 2. Now, should, from that negative 2, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, from that vertex, I kind of want to know which way it opens. And remember, if y is the one that's to the first power and x is being squared, it's either up or down, just like the old school ones. And since that's positive, that means that it's going to open up. So that distance of 2 is going to be from the vertex. We're going to go up 2 blocks right there, and there's my focus. So the coordinate of my focus is at negative 2, 7. You got to be careful because before we were just labeling off the foci by counting 2 from the origin, so this would have been like 0, 2, and whatnot. But again, we're going from the vertex. And then I'm going to go down 2 to get the directrix. And since the parabola is opening up, you've got yourself a directrix where y is equal to 3. Okay, again, it is a parabola. How do I know that? Because x is to the first power and y is being squared. Yep, that's your h, that's still your k, so my vertex is at 2, 6. Because x is to the first power and y is the one that's being squared, it is either going to open up to the left or right. Guess I'm going on a different order than I did before. But since this is positive, I know it's going to open up to the right. So when I go over to my 2 and 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there is my vertex. This distance of p, remember I got to find by 1 over 4p is equal to 4. Then I'm going to cross multiply. 4p is equal to 1. Sorry, 4 times 4 is 16, not 4. Divide by 16, and p is 1/16. So I'm going to go just a itty bitty little smidge right there, and it's going to turn into 2 and a 16th, comma 6 for my focus. And how did I get that? Well, I just took 2 plus the 1/16th, and a little bit of faith here with the fractions, but 1 and 15/16. And they're not typically like this, just it worked out that way this time. But it's going to be just a little bit to the other side. Remember, the distance from the focus to the directrix and the vertex to the focus is the same from the directrix to the vertex as well. So since this is a vertical line, the equation is going to be x equals. All right, so write an equation of a circle that has a center of h and k. Here we go, and a radius of 6. We've done these before, but hopefully this helps kind of reinforce what we've done before too. I'm just putting in my h and k. I'll leave them there. I'm not going to FOIL them out, square them, or anything like that. The only thing I'm going to make sure is take that 6 and square it. So x plus 4 squared plus y minus 5 squared equals 36. And there's the equation of a circle. Okay, parabola. Again, I'm a visual person. I know that the vertex is at 1, -2, so I'm going to start off some sketch paper here, or scratch. Not that great of scratch paper, but whatever works. There's my vertex. It's going to open to the right. Okay, how do I know? It tells me. The x-intercept is going to be at 3, 0. And how that's going to help me is it's going to be some x and y to go along with this h and k, and it's going to let me solve for my p. And I need p because I'm doing with a parabola. Okay, so how does the opens to the right? Well, then I know it's x minus h, 1 over 4p, and this is going to be positive because it opens to the right, y minus k squared. So my x, 3 minus the h, my y, which is going to be 0. Okay, comes from that order pair. Just doing a little substitution. Double negative minus a -2, so it's going to be plus 2, and then we square it. So I'm going to have 2 equals 1 over 4p, and that's going to turn into 2 squared, so 4. Now in this case, I'm going to go ahead and simplify the fraction, the whole number right away. Those 4s are going to cancel out. So I've got 2 is equal to 1 over p. So multiply by p, divide by 2, my p is 1/2. But the equation would be x minus h1 equals 1 over 4 times 1/2 times y, double negative again, we get you plus 2, and I'll clean up the fraction a little bit. So x minus 1 equals 1/2 y plus 2 squared. And there you go. Let's maybe hopefully talk about those a little bit more in class and work on those a little bit too. But this is how you translate a circle and parabola.